And good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. Enjoying about my third or fourth cup of coffee here, running just a little bit later than I normally am. Got busy doing some research here in the New International Greek Testament Commentary and what have you. I just got absorbed and lost track of time. Anyway, hope you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. I had a very productive weekend, which is always a good thing. We are currently discussing the eschatology of the Thessalonian epistles. And, we are eventually going to focus on 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, which, interestingly enough, with the exception of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, is really, generally speaking, the focus of most people's discussion of eschatology. It's interesting to me that so many people ignore the text prior to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 or the text after that. They just want to go right there. But as I have suggested to you, Paul's discussion of eschatology in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 is not a standalone discussion. It is a fuller discussion of what he has said earlier. It is likewise a fuller discussion in some regards of what he will discuss in his second epistle. Pardon me. Second epistle. There is no big dichotomy. Now, I've posed the question, is it possible? Is it possible that Paul's discussing something in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 that is radically different in time and nature from what he discusses in the rest of the epistles? Of course it's possible. The question is, can that be verified and can that be proven? Well, here's something to consider. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, in this great discourse that everyone wants to make future, all right? I want you to notice, and we'll have a whole lot more to say about this at the appropriate time, but Paul, contrasting himself, contrasting the living Thessalonians with the Thessalonians who have died, he refers to the fact that we who are alive and remain. Now, all of this is in the present active. Those of us who are now living and are remaining until the coming of the Lord, Greek word parousia, okay? So, taken normally, taken naturally, there is a very clear expectation on Paul's part that the Lord was coming in the lifetime of that generation. Now, all sorts of explanations have been given to try to explain that away, and again, we'll discuss this later. But I want you to notice 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23, where Paul says, writing to this same people to whom he has just said, those of us who are, present tense. He doesn't say those who will be alive and remain. Those of us who are alive and are remaining until the parousia. But then he says, now may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, the construction of the Greek here can allow that your whole body, soul, and spirit be found blameless at, or the force can be, as many Greek experts say, may your whole body, soul, and spirit be preserved until the coming of the Lord. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, it is F.F. Bruce in his commentary on Thessalonians that makes that very point. The force of the language is, Paul said, I'm praying that you, body, soul, and spirit, will be preserved, that you will live until the parousia. This agrees perfectly with his statement, we who are alive and remain until the parousia. We thus have a continuation of what Paul has been saying. Every text so far up to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 puts it in a first century imminent context. And now, as Paul closes his first epistle, he expresses the desire, the hope, and the prayer that they would live until the parousia. There is no expression, no thought, no expectation that the parousia would be 5,000 years away, or 20,000, or 30, or 40,000 years away. But that they, the first century Thessalonians, would live until the parousia. Hey, I developed this extensively in my book, We Shall Meet Him in the Air, The Wedding of the King of Kings. Go to my website, eschatology.org, BibleProphecy.com. Order the book, We Shall Meet Him in the Air, The Wedding of the King of Kings. Make a note that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Save you $5, okay? Thanks so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side.